had federal judges doing.
So this is the question portion.
The election.
Behind him, that's Sidney Powell, who said she was going to release the Kraken, that she had a fire hose of evidence, that she was going to inundate us with evidence of election fraud. It's a week after she made those claims, and I've still yet to see any of this evidence. And if they had this evidence, they sure as shit haven't presented it to a court. It's almost like they are grifters. And that maybe she is... I called her a fiction author the other day. I believe I was wrong. Her books aren't fiction. So I apologize for that. But she is an author and a TV producer. It's almost like she's trying to sell books to dumb fuck Trump supporters that can't recognize grifters.
Will you be asking that in Georgia?
Apparently, Rudy was sweating pretty bad during this press conference. You can see his Just for Men.
I can't say
whatever spray hair shit he's got on his face running down the side of his face.
In what county?
Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Atlanta is sort of an Operation Grey Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you were
Yep.
informed of that.
I know about it. I really can't give you an opinion on that. I think obviously
You've got opinions on everything else. Why can't you, Rudy?
From this, and be very, very careful with the next election. I know this is a lot of information that we've given you, probably because we're frustrated with what we keep reading and hearing in the censored press, which is that we have no evidence, we have no specifics, we have no backup.
I keep having to pause and say, that's not true. They are saying in court they have no evidence. Trump's own legal team is saying that in court.
What we're saying.
Censored press.
And you largely ignore the affidavits that are filed. Whether you agree or disagree with an affidavit, it's evidence. You can't say, I mean, you're just lying to the American people when you say there's no evidence.
They've got a shit ton of affidavits, but they have stupid ass things like, this guy looked at me funny, or he was wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, or one of my favorites was a lot of these military ballots were for Biden, and that seems odd. Those are the kind of affidavits they are presenting as evidence. And that's why we showed I was trying to pull it up the other day when somebody came into the chat. And I'm like, telling him Trump's own legal team is saying this in court. So this is what one of the judges said. It's your evidence is inadmissible as hearsay. Inadmissible hearsay within hearsay. Hearsay within hearsay. Because several of the affidavits were about like, oh, I heard a person say this. Hearsay within hearsay. They've got no evidence. But now apparently they're flying to Germany or some shit to find where the votes were actually tabulated in this whole Dominion software conspiracy theory. I know I've yet to break that one down here on the stream, but holy shit, it's so much insane tripe that you can't even wrap your head around it.
Sidney was giving you information that come from affidavits from other people that are given under oath. I was explaining things to you from affidavits that come from other people.
That's what Kelly McEnany was waving around on Fox News the other night. I got affidavits!
100,000 ballots come in, and that they were all for Joe Biden. And that, I should point out now that Sidney has spoken, that those happened just around the time that the Dominion or Smartmatic people called a halt to the election. And then you can also trace it.
Called a halt to the election? What is he talking about? And first of all, hey, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. I'm not sure. Like, they've accused Venezuela of being part of this. They bring up Hugo Chavez. They say that their ballots were being counted in Germany. That's why I haven't really talked about the whole Dominion software shit, because they're just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks.
With a very big spike in the vote count at exactly that time. Right up. So what we're telling you is supported
Kind of like the COVID statistics, right, Rudy?
And we're going to have to present these because of the procedures that exist according to the different voting laws of the different states. For example, you asked us about Wisconsin. We have to first create a contest in Wisconsin before we can move to bringing a fulsome federal lawsuit. The contest, from everything I can see, is going to overturn the vote.
Ha!
Because it's going to show somewhere around 100,000 illegal ballots.
I've got the picture from the Borat
that
scene here.
Biden carried by.
At
Oh, shit.
Subs, we give
80%
Hill in their
You know how close
monetized
Wisconsin
YouTube
is.
channel.
And what I'm talking about is the absentee ballots for which there were no applications. And that's not just a small matter. The reason for the application and the reason to keep all these things together is precisely to avoid what the Democrats did in this election, which is to misuse the absentee ballot process and the mail-in ballot process in order to cheat. So they really cheated in two respects.
No. They leaned on mail-in ballots because we're in the middle of a goddamn pandemic, and I'm amazed that Rudy hasn't tested positive yet. He's been flying all over the place, holding press conferences next to a dildo shop. I've never seen him wear a mask. He was even at the White House super spreader events. I don't think Rudy is human. I think he's some kind of a lizard person. They do. They have to throw that out. There was actually a story out of Georgia where one of the canvassers' moms had died, and like it hurt her, like she had to throw her ballot out. They keep claiming they're the silent majority, but they never shut the fuck up. That's what we played the video of Alex Jones at the Million MAGA March, and he's like, "You will not be silenced, blah, 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 blah." And like, motherfucker, you never shut up.
They cheated with the machines. Instead of asking me, are we going to bring a lawsuit in Wisconsin, which we will if we have to, you should have asked me, and you should be more astounded by the fact that our votes are counted in Germany and in Spain by a company owned by affiliates of Chavez and Maduro. Did you ever believe that was true? Did any of you here believe that that was possible? Of course it's not. Of course it shouldn't be possible. I don't know if we're
Where are my friends from Echoplex Media? Because we are playing Conspiracy Bingo. That's one of their shows. Go check them out.
going to have time to develop all that in time to fill the requirements of all these cases. We have enough evidence without that to overturn this election. We have it from the affidavits of American citizens. But that's a matter of national security that we're talking about now. Very, very serious matter of national security. Please don't make light of it. And don't act like you knew it. Don't act like it isn't a surprise.
Act like you
It's not a headline
know.
tomorrow, then you don't know what a headline is. There isn't a single person in this country that would have believed that we have states that are stupid enough to have our vote sent out of this country. You couldn't possibly believe that the company counting our vote with control over our vote is
I don't
owned by
believe
two
it because it's not
Venezuelans
true.
who were allies of Chavez, are present allies of Maduro, with a company whose chairman is a close associate and business partner of George Soros.
Oh, wow.
Biggest
We
donor
really
to
did hit the
the Democrat
conspiracy
Party,
bingo
The
here.
biggest donor to Antifa and the biggest donor to Black Lives Matter. My goodness. What do we have to do to...
Hey, Rudy, I want to know, how do I go about donating to Antifa? Do they have like a treasurer? Is there a phone number I can call at the Antifa headquarters so I can find out where I can send my Antifa bucks to? God damn.
get you to give our people the truth.
With Facebook Shop.
All right, that's enough of that. Let's move on to this. Was from the Trump YouTube page
on the stream, I guess.
as they're airing this press conference. This is somebody from the Trump YouTube page. They had their microphones on. Listen.
Can they hear us on the stream? I guess not.
I don't think so, but that's kind of cool.
To the point of mathematical impossibility that 186,000 votes come in at once, all for Joe Biden. That's like flipping a coin 186,000 times, and it lands.
Wait for it.
See fucking
on heads.
fucking Rudy's hair dye dripping
That
down his
does not
face.
happen. There is no reasonable explanation for the
Can they hear us on the stream? I guess not.
I don't think so, but that's kind of cool.
To the point of mathematical impossibility that 186,000 votes come in at once, all for Joe Biden. That's like flipping a coin 186,000 times, and it lands on
See fucking Rudy's hair dye dripping down his face.
Trump's own people are mocking Rudy Giuliani. Now, Fox News aired the press conference in its entirety, and when they cut away, this is what they had to say. So don't take my word for it that Rudy is full of shit.
Colorful news
Oh.
light on fact. Well, that was certainly a colorful news conference from Rudy Giuliani, but it was light on facts. So much of what he said was simply not true or has already been thrown out in court. And, Giuliani, he opened by making this really bold and baseless claim that a lot of this alleged nationwide voter fraud that he's referring to all came from one centralized place. He called it a nationwide conspiracy. And yet, he failed to provide any hard evidence to back up that one specific claim, especially when you're dealing with a claim that really cuts to the core of our democratic process.
Well, this is the Fox News division, not the commentary. They are different, and the news division does do a decent job, especially when it comes to calling the results on election night. They were really good.